Welcome players. This little video is going to show you how to use Foundry for the games that I DM. About 15 minutes before game start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link into the Discord channel, and you're going to click on that link and it'll take you to a screen that looks similar to this. From the screen in the user menu here, just go ahead and click on this drop down box, then select your character name / your Discord name. And there's no password, so just go ahead and click on join game session. Then everything will load up. Just go ahead and close out this simple calendar if you get it. Don't worry about that. That's just really for the DM myself to track the time in the games. Every 6 seconds is 1 minute in the game. Now what you'll see here, you'll be presented with this user configuration screen. This color here, you can change it to any color you want, and that's how you're gonna know if you targeted somebody or not. As you can see here, I have an orange. Down here in the lower left hand corner, it says Garrick, and it's also orange. So if I change this to blue, save configuration, my character icon here will be blue. Now, if there's two people that are in here that's blue, you want to change it, just go ahead and right click on your character, use a configuration, and change to a different color. Configuration. Okay, there you go. It's red. All right, first thing I want to show you guys is the the control system, which is up in this area here. When you click on your token, or you click on someone else's token, I don't have access to, which nobody should have access to, but you guys should only have access to your own token. You will get an inventory which has your weapons, your unarmed strikes, all your consumables. So if you buy rations from an inn and you wish to consume it that day, you would then just click on inventory, click on consume. And it'll ask you, do you want to consume? Yes, I do want to use this consume. Use this item, and it'll show here in the chat menu saying that you have consumed 1 ration for the day. In my games, there are times when I will require you guys to have rations, and I want to see that it is being consumed. And then once it's been consumed, it'll go away. Unless you have multiple, like right now, I have 9 rations. I also have rope, tinderbox to burn things, water skin, torch. Next one is your features. This is the class, the features that your class have. Since this is a level 9 character, I have obviously have the Blessed Healer, Channel Divinity, Preserve Life, Turn Undead, Destroy Undead, and I have the Warcaster role plus the Resilient. So if you look at Channel Divinity, it says they're 2 of 2, which means right now you have 2 Channel Divinities available to you until your next short rest. You don't have to worry about these areas too much unless you're looking to cast it. Like let's say if I want to cast a Channel Divinity for Turn Undead or Destroyed Undead, I will then click on here. There's also other passive features that you don't have to worry about. That's just part of your character. It'll automatically take care of for you. Would be in the passive features section. The next, if you are a spellcaster, you will have this little spell section here. So I have some spells. I have some animal friendship. That's because I have a potion that deals with animal friendship. My cantrip is shown here. My chill touch, guidance, sacred flame. I'm not going to try to pronounce that one. Also, I would have bless, command, cure wounds, and so forth. And you see here, this says this is a first level spell, and I have 3 out of 4 slots left, which means I used one previously. Second level spell, which is 3 of 3. I have not yet used any of my second level spell. My third level spell I haven't used either. Same thing with my 4th level and my 5th level. Your attributes. This is where your strength saving throws, and your skill checks would be. The ability would, if I were to ask for a strength check or saving throw, you would go to attribute and click on strength, and it'll roll. If I ask you here, do you want to use an ability check or a saving throw? If I ask for a saving throw, you go ahead and click on saving throw, and it'll roll automatically for you. Now, with each one of these attributes here, you can roll advantage or disadvantage. So to roll disadvantage, you hold down the control key. Hopefully I am correct. So again, when you hold down the control key, click on the strength saving throw. It's going to ask you, do you want ability check or saving throw? So depending on what's being called for, that's what you'll click. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and click on ability check. And I hope that control is the right key. Yes, so control is disadvantage. You'll see here in the chat menu says strength ability check that rolled at a disadvantage. Now, how do you roll for advantage? And the key here on my system is the Alt key. Go to attributes, press down on the Alt key, go ahead and click on strength, and we'll just go ahead and do another ability check. In the chat window here, it shows that there's a strength ability check advantage that works with any of whether it's a ability check or a skill check. Alt and control key. All right, then the effect. What effect does your character currently have today, right now? Currently, I have Discipline of Life, Warcaster, Goggles of Night, which lets me see further because I do have Dark Vision, and then I do have also Lucky Stone. Now, there are times when you get knocked out, your character should automatically enable one of these other conditions here. If not, I will apply them accordingly. But normally, you don't have to do anything about this. Let's say you were knocked prone, and on your next turn, you are going to stand up. You would come to effect, and you would click prone. So let me go ahead and do it. This one here. So let's say Garrick is now prone. Where is the prone? Right. So it puts this little logo on him right there in the upper right-hand corner saying he's prone. On his next turn, and he's staying up, he can go click on his own self, click on effect, and click on prone, which will then remove the prone from his his token here. Okay. But normally the game takes care of it for you by adding those effect. Last one I want to mention here is utility. So when we are getting to roll for initiative, you could double click on your token and roll for initiative. Where is my initiative right here? I can click on this to roll for initiative. But most of the time, I do not go into my character sheet at all. Everything is accessible from this nice little row of information here. So if we were to roll into initiative, of course, the DM would have to first initiate a combat, but you would roll. Let me go ahead and do one. Go ahead and do There's a new encounter currently. Switch to right scene, 1. So here we have one encounter getting started. As you can see here, in this combat encounter, if you just right click on it, it would pop up the combat tracker. So it shows here the guard is currently part of this combat. And if Garrick was to roll for initiative, he would simply click on his token, go to the utility, and roll initiative. It'll automatically roll for you. And here it shows 22. Now the guard is going to roll. Rolls a 10. As you can see, it organized everything for us. And during combat, you will not be able to move your token unless it is your turn. So like it's Garrick's turn, right? So Garrick can move. And his turn. When Garrick try to move, Garrick won't. Because it's the guard's turn. Standard stuff. Now, how do I get Garrick to attack this guard? Well, the way to target this guard for Garrick is the T on your keyboard. Click on this guard, press T. After that, you'll see these little 4 triangles here, or a little triangle on 4 corners of the token. From there, you can go to inventory and use a mace. If you were to try to attack with a mace, you get an error message saying that you're 10 feet away when your range is only 5. So you obviously can't hit someone from 10 feet away if your range is only 5. So in this case here, Garrick is going to cast a spell. So I'll just cast something light like a chill touch. And in the chat window here, it'll give me what the spell description is, what it does, so everyone can read it and understand it. What you would do then is to click on attack, and this would be a normal roll. 5. In this case, the guard here, it has an AC of 10, and my attack was only 9, so I'm definitely going to miss. But had I landed an attack, it would have done 7 damage to her. So let me go ahead and end her turn and go back to Garrick once more. So we're in round 3 of combat. Garrick is now going to move in closer to make a mace attack here. So I'm going to do a mace attack. Again, you get +1 to my attack because I have a mace +1. And I will do a normal roll. Oh man, oh 10, yes, with all my bonuses. And I hit her with my mace for 7. So what I normally do when I'm in combat is I go over here to this combat encounter, right click on it, it'll pop it out, and have it here on the screen so that I know when my turn is coming up. And when the turn is over, the DM will then end the combat and will let you know that combat has ended. Movement is changed to free movement, so now you can move anywhere you want. Down here is your macros. If you don't want to use this here to make your attack, you can always double click on your token, go into your inventory, and simply drag the mace down into the first box. So now it'll automatically do your attack for you. So if I were to say on this button while I have her tokened selected, click on it, and you see here on the chat menu, on the right hand side, you have the attack button. I'm definitely not going to attack now. So let's say there are 2 characters you want to target, right? Like let's say you have a spell that targets 2 characters. How do you select 2 different token? Of course, you would target the first one, click on the shift key, and then click on the second token and hit the T again. So now T for this first one, shift T for the second one, shift T for the third one, shift T for the fourth one. Now look at this. How do I unselect these 2? Simple enough. Just click on one of the token, hit T, and both be unhighlighted. To target again, press T, press T. Now, if at any point when you're moving your token and you all of a sudden like, oh, I can't move my token anymore, make sure on your upper left-hand side, the token control and token select, selected token is selected. Sometimes people think that they need to use a ruler to measure the distances, and then they forget that the ruler is selected and they try to move the character and all they get is this thing. Nice thing is that I have a module where you never have to use the ruler because every time you move the block, it will show you how far you're moving. Here is 20 feet. If I were to move again, another 20 feet. If I were in combat, my character can only move 30 feet. Once you start to exceed 30 feet, the line starts to turn to yellow to let you know that you have exceeded your walking distance. Okay, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about this, really. It's your chat box. You should always have your chat box open and visible here. During combat, you should always right-click on your combat encounter. Keep it right here next to you. Click on close when combat's over. Sometimes we'll have roll tables. So, for example, if I had a roll table, I would there would be something here. All you do is right-click on it and click on roll, and it'll roll something to the chat screen. Okay. Down here is the dice tray. We have a D4, D6, D8, 10, D12, D20, and D100. There's no D2, but if you want to run a D2, you type /R1D2 and press enter, and it'll roll a 2-sided coin. You can also do here, like if you want to roll a D6 and you want to do an advantage, right? So you click on 2, the D6 twice, you click on advantage, and then you click on roll. Now you can also click on disadvantage, so we'll do it again. Click on disadvantage there, click on roll. Now roll as a disadvantage here. All right, so let's say you click this so many times that you're like, oh crud, I actually clicked 6 times. How do you get it to go back down to 0? Simple. Left click was to increase it. Right click is to decrease it. So here I'm right clicking. Right, here I was left clicking. I'm going to right click to reduce it. Okay, so by default, the roles goes to public. If I were to ask you to like roll a private GM role, you would change this from public role to a private role, or a blind role, blind GM role, which means you don't see the role, only the GM sees it, and there is a self role. More than likely, you'll never do a self role. It's always going to be a public role. And in my game, every time you roll a stealth, you don't see it. As the player, you do not see a stealth roll that automatically rolls to me, the DM, and I will let you know if you succeed or not in your stealth. All right, that's pretty much it. How to use this system, fairly simple. If you have any questions, ask before the game starts. Thanks for watching.